Okay, good morning, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon. How's everyone doing? Can you guys hear me just fine? Okay, let me just get the chat up here and running so I can see your messages. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, everyone. Let's see, we don't have much time here together, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through everything as much as we can because we have a lot to cover. Okay, let's see, where are you guys? All right, all right. Where is everyone tuning in from? Okay, let's give it another minute or so and we'll get started. USA, Argentina, Pune, Ghana, Sweden, India, Slovenia, Philippines, Singapore, Cameroon, Chile, South Africa, Kerala, Montreal, um, Ghana, South Africa, Salt Lake City, Minnesota, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Spain, Greece, Zimbabwe, Punjab, Qatar, Cape Town. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So we got everyone tuning in from all around the world. I want to take a moment and thank all of you guys for taking the time to be here. Today we have a important webinar to talk about on a topic called reversals. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Naveen Prithiani. I am actually the founder of Urban Forex. I built Urban Forex as a gateway to help the little guy enter the field of the big guy. Okay, so many of you guys know me at a personal level. Some of you guys have seen me in person or on publications or at events, but here we are here to get together today. So in this video, what we're going to be talking about is how do you act upon reversals? When you spot a reversal, how do you know to trade it? How do you know it will reverse? So we're going to be covering all of these things. So let's get straight to the charts and I'll explain to you how it works. One of the things that I'm going to do by trying to explain this is I'm going to show you guys a technique that we use in the Mastering Price Action course. Now, the Mastering Price Action course is something I built several years ago for some of the larger players that I was training back in the day. So I was training some bankers and senior professionals from high net worth individuals, and they had asked me is there a faster way to get into the market? We understand banking, we understand supply and demand. How do we look at the markets in a more robust and efficient way? And after trial and error, I put together the Mastering Price Action. Right now, the Mastering Price Action, we have 2.0, which is a updated version of it. So I'm going to share with you guys a technique called buyer's territory, seller's territory. This is very, very important. So I'm going to talk about that. So whether you're dealing with stocks or you're dealing with Forex, the concept is the same because the players are human beings on either side, right? So let's talk about that. All right, so I'm going to move on to a Forex pair since everybody here is most likely from the Forex industry. Okay, this is a stock we're looking at. Let me just switch it over. Let's do a simple chart like Euro USD. Okay, so let's say we're looking at a daily chart. Okay. Now, one of the things that you want to see is, let's say prices are coming down. If prices are coming down, and then when prices turn and the prices go back up, and if I ask you a question, what price would you have loved to be in? Well, everyone's answer is going to be the same. They're going to say, well, here, obviously, I would love to have bought it at that price. So everyone wants to catch the edge, the corner, the turning point. So let's talk about that turning point today a little bit. And let's talk about the dangers and benefits of catching the turning point, because it's very important to understand that risks come with it, but it's also extremely lucrative. So let's talk about double sides, the both sides of the coin here, okay? All right, so a couple of things. First things first is let's, if I give you guys an example, for example, let me show you. I'm gonna cherry pick an example here, and then we'll do an example together. Okay. Let's say the prices are heading up in a particular fashion here. They're going uptrend, 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 uptrend. Now, if I talk about this moment in hindsight, it's obviously it went down afterwards. But what if it's not hindsight? What if we're literally sitting there. If we're sitting right over there, how do you know? Is it this candle that's going to reverse? Is it the next candle that's going to reverse? Is it the next candle that's going to reverse? It looks like it's going to reverse, but it never did. I saw this red candle come in. I thought it's going to reverse. I sold here. It never did. And then I saw, okay, another red candle. It was supposed to go down. I sold it. It never went. Any of you guys experienced that? Where it's like, I'm trying to, catch the best price, but I cannot, for the sake of heavens, I cannot grab it because it keeps churning on me. So one of the things that we emphasize heavily on in the Mastering Price Action course, in fact, I'm going to teach you guys two techniques, okay? One thing is the rubber band man. Okay, the rubber band man is something that's extremely popular from Mastering Price Action 1.0, and then we dragged it into the more recent version of the Mastering Price Action 2.0. The rubber band man basically is a different way of looking at momentum. Okay, now, when you guys look at a ball, right? When you guys have all done this in school, where they tell you to take a ball, drop it down, it'll drop down. If this is the floor, it'll bounce. Then the second time around, it'll bounce less. Third time around, bounce less, and then dribble, 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 dies. Right? Everyone knows this example, right? So now that you understand this, the chart is no different. If you want to have a chance to turn the market, you don't turn the market there. You turn the market there. So notice what I'm doing is I'm taking you away from the energy that's coming at full force at you. You never hit the buy when the force is full speed in your direction. It's much harder to do that, okay? Because timing becomes ultra critical if you do that, which means one little mistake wiped out. So you don't want to be in that position where the chance of you losing is 99.9% and the chances of you saying, oh, I got it and I made some money. Because that 1% chance where you did make the money, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, when you go to do it again, it'll take all that money and more, and you'll be sitting there saying, what am I doing? Why, right? You don't want to end up in that situation. So constantly retail traders fall into this trap of, I want to make a lot of money. I want to do it quickly, but the world is just against me. God doesn't love me. Nobody loves me. I have bad luck. So they go into this little corner space of, maybe it's just me. And it's not you. Okay, so that's the thing. It's not you because it's everyone's desire to do well, right? But to do well requires a little bit of effort. It's not hard. It's easy. That's our mantra that we do at Urban Forex. But sometimes you just need to look at it in a different lens. Okay, so we're going to look at it in a different lens today, and that will help you automatically be patient and saying, not here, wait, now. Okay. All right, so now when you look at this thing and the prices are going up, 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 up. Okay, what happens is there are multiple ways people say, for a turn, I like to see a confirmation, right? So what that means is when a buy goes up, buy goes up, buy goes up, some people say, I need to see a strong red bar, and that tells me that's the top. Some might say, if I have my moving average like this, I need the price to be very far away from my moving average. And then when I get a red bar, I sell. Okay, which means price is overextended. Some might say, I use Fibonacci, and when the Fibonacci goes out of sequence, where Mr. Fibonacci himself is saying, Mamma mia, how did price get there? No way. That's when I sell. That's also a theory. So there's so many theories coming at you. What's the right answer? The theory that might be in your mind, can you force the person on the other side to hit the sell just because you've thought of a theory that should happen? So guessing that it should do it is never going to work. That process is never going to work. The market is so big, it's so big that you don't want to just guess, okay? All right, now let's take a look at this. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to bring it up one time frame even higher. Same area, same everything. I'm gonna bring it up one time frame even higher. Take a look at how this looks on the weekly chart. So the time frame, I'm just changing time frames. I don't want you to get panicked by weekly, daily, 4 hour, 60. Don't get panicked by that. I'm just changing time frames so I can put some perspective into you. All right, here we go. I'm going to first, as I talk about this, I'm going to give you a theory very quickly. Okay? Theory for the next 5-10 minutes. I'm going to put this into you that you're going to use this as your template. Okay, you're going to use this theory as your template, and then you're going to bring that template onto the charts. We're going to do some examples together, and you'll see how quickly you're able to solve it, how quickly you'll be able to solve it. Now, ready? All of you guys in this room, okay, as of right now, everyone is Team A, okay? Everybody is Team A. Okay, your goal is to buy this house. Your goal is to buy this house for the price of $100,000. Okay? $100,000. You have to buy this house. That's your goal. Okay? Right now, the price of the house is $500,000. Okay? That's the price of the house right now. And your goal for all of you guys in Team A is I need to buy it at $100,000. Right now, price is too high. I'm not going to buy it. Okay? So you guys are all aware. That's how you guys are thinking. You guys are not bringing up a chart. You're not bringing trend lines. You're not bringing Mr. Fibonacci in here. You're not bringing moving averages. You're simply saying, I need to buy something and I have a reason to buy it. I'm not speculating. I know I have to buy something. Okay? So when you trade, you are just speculating, but someone on the other end actually needs the product. So when you buy euro, someone out there actually needs euros. Okay? You might not. You might do this. Well, if I buy and sell euros, can I make $100? If I buy and sell USD yen, can I make $200? No one cares about that. Okay? Nobody cares about that. You and I care about that, but the world doesn't care about that. So it won't work if we just say, but if I click a button, I should get paid. Right? It sounds silly, right? Unfortunately, that's how the whole public thinks how the market works. If I just come here and I click a few buttons, people just give me a strategy, I'll make a lot of money. First, try to understand I'm buying something. So right now, your goal is you have to buy a house. Price is too high. It's running at 500. Running at 500. This is the price. It's ranging at 500, 500, 500. Prices drop. 500 to 400. Do you guys want to buy it? All of you guys who have a target in your mind. I'm watching the chat. Good. Nobody wants to buy it because that's not the goal. We don't want to buy it. Watch very carefully what's about to happen. Prices go from 400 to 450. Okay? 450, 460, 470, 250. 250. Do you guys want to buy it? What's going through your minds? What's going through your minds? In this neighborhood that you're about to buy a house, the prices are dropping like hotcakes. You don't want to buy it, but you're also not stupid, right? You're like, why is the price dropped 50% so quickly? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, your goal is to buy it at 100. Prices go up. 250, 260, 270, 250, 250, 250, 80. 80,000. Do you want to buy it? Okay, watch the chat. Watch the chat. All of you guys, look at the answers. Some people saying buy, some people saying no, some people saying yes, some people saying not yet. So if the goal was 100 and you're getting it even less than 100, what's making people panic and saying, I don't know, maybe not yet? There's a reason for that. And that same reason applies to the market as well. Why the hell did the price drop so quickly? I know it's in my area that I want it, but why is it dropping so fast? What happened to this neighborhood? Is it on fire? Well, right? So should I look outside the window? Is the whole neighborhood on fire? Is that why it's selling for 80? If that's the case, I don't want to buy it at even at $10, right? That doesn't make any sense. So what's going on? Why is the price dropping so fast? So a normal logical person will say, there's a deal here. I wanted it for 100. I'm getting it for 80, but man, that was quick. Okay, you stand back, you're like, he's in my vicinity, he's in my area of price that I can afford, that I like. 80 goes up to 85, 80, 90, 85, 100, 85. Do you want to buy it? Do you want to buy it? Okay. What's the chat? What's the chat? The reason why I'm saying what's the chat? Look at human behavior. I want you to watch that. Don't watch the chart. Watch the chat. See how people feel if it happens to them in real life with a product they really care about. They're not speculating. Everyone is looking at this as, I know my objective that was given to me to buy a house at 100,000, but I'm watching this. I'm watching this thing and I feel oozy inside. Should I buy it? Should I not? I'm a little confused. Okay. Now, as prices are hovering in this area, prices drop. Prices are now at 70,000. Should I buy it? Should I buy it? It's even cheaper now than 100. Should I buy it? Okay. Now, prices go up 75, 72, 78. Okay, 78, 70, 90, 85, 90, 85, 100, 85, 100. Should I buy it? Look at the chat. Look at the chat. Notice how many people turn buyers now than they were before. I want you to remember this human behavior. Remember this human behavior. It has nothing to do with the chart, but it has everything to do how you got to that moment on the chart. So when people say, you see this trend line here? I'm going to draw this trend line. You see this, this thing that it broke from this side, got to the other side. You see this octopus shape where the tentacles have been destroyed. You see this dinosaur pattern that's been coming out of this thing that looks like an alien. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's like, yeah, I can do something. Well, it's like, all right, so enough with the fairy tales. You want to get away from fairy tales and try to understand, just by looking at this chat, you understood if you had to buy whatever this is, how you behave. So your actionable area is here, right? More or less, it's around there. Do you guys agree? But it wasn't because price is at 100, was it? Is it because price is at 100? Because earlier, price was at 100 too. It was there through 100. Why didn't you buy it at that time? Strange, isn't it? So it's not about the price. It's about how we get to that price. So just because sometimes you have an SNR, don't just blindly buy it. Just because a price has reached. Don't do it like that. Try to understand, how are we getting there? We have a price idea, and then what we do with that idea, we try to understand it. So what's happening is this bouncy ball, if you want to put it that way, when the ball drops and is going full speed, then it bounces, then the speed reduces. No one said yes, even though the price was good. Nobody said yes. Then the speed reduces and then it goes down more. And then it starts to flicker away, flicker away. It is that point where you start getting comfortable and saying, yeah, I would buy it. So what you just did is you faded that entire energy out to say, for me to buy this successfully, I need to kill that energy coming down. Okay? It's like, I know some of you guys are like, oh no, you sound like my physics teacher. It's like, don't tell me this class is starting all over again. I hate that. Okay, but I'm not trying to tell you that. I'm trying to bring your own real life experience into this thing, so that way you understand that the market is exactly what you know how to do. It's just you're being tricked into watching YouTube videos and saying, do this, do that, do this. You're being tricked. You're being fooled into doing that thing. You don't want to do that. You are naturally built in to be a trader, because how else would you buy things in real life? You are a natural trader as is. We're going to have to remove all the garbage from your mind of all this strategy, that strategy, do this trend line, that trend line, follow Mr. Fibonacci, follow Mr. Pepperoni Pizza, whatever. Like, calm down. There is no golden thing. The golden thing is you. You are the golden key. You are the holy grail. It's already there. You do it all day, every day when you go to the store. You just need to apply it here. Yeah? So far, so good? Okay. So what you just understood here is something referred to from our Mastering Price Action course. It's referred to something called a rubber band man. Okay. We basically say, imagine there's a person running. Imagine there's a person running, and I attach a rubber band around his waist and I tell him run. And I tell him run. So he runs from this distance to this distance. It's like, wow, the guy can run, even with an elastic rubber band around his stomach. And then he takes a break. How big of a break does he take? Not much, not much. And then he beats his own record and goes a little bit further. Wow, the guy's got some energy. Then he takes a break. But this time, look at the size of his taking a break. Last time he took a 5% break. This time he took all the way up to 50%. Wow, he's getting tired. The rubber band is starting to have an effect on him. And then he runs his last breath to do a little bit more. He went a little bit beyond his previous record, and the rubber band pulled him back 100% this time. And now he's trying and trying and trying, and the energy is getting evaporated. He just cannot run anymore. That's when you know the sellers are starting to run out of steam. So far, so good? Making sense? So this is a technique that I like to teach you guys, because it really helps to understand the markets. By playing this little imagery game, it puts you in context of, oh, I can't just look at this area. I got to look at the whole thing if I want to understand where we are right now. Right? Does that make sense? Okay, how many of you guys on this live webinar right now are over the age of 30? How many guys here are over the age of 30? How many of you guys in here are over the age of 40? Can you guys just type in your numbers if you guys don't mind? 50 plus, 40 plus, 30 plus, whatever that number is. Okay, over 30, over 45, 33, 40 plus, 50 plus, 18, okay, 33. All of you young guys, you guys have a benefit. If you learn this at a younger age, you're good. You're good. You're golden. Okay, 64, 49. Okay, good. Now, Remember how I said to know where you are right now, you need to know where it came from? So if you come out today and saying music is something that is on Apple iTunes only, to a person that's more than 30 years old is going to say, no, that's a new thing, buddy. It used to be on cassette players. I used to take a pen and reel that tape inside that cassette every now and then and flip it over to a damn B-side to listen to more songs. Right? So some of you guys old enough realize it used to be like that. Then it became CDs, then it became MP3s, then it became streaming. So to understand where you are, you got to know where it came from, and then you got the whole picture. And then you know how valuable it is by understanding that little timeline. Okay, we're not doing anything different. We're doing that same thing from the chart. You can't just look at that one recent moment here and say that candle is a pin bar, therefore I will sell. No, you need to look at the whole thing to get an idea of that doesn't make any sense for it to be a pin bar at that location. That is how you understand perspective. Okay. So far, so good. Anyone in here does not understand the rubber band man so far? Everyone got that part, right? I'm going to teach you guys one more technique, and then I'm going to take you guys to the chart. One more technique here. Okay, good, good. Looks like you guys got it now. Oh, we got a lot of young people here as well. Excellent, excellent, good. And tons of people above the age of 50. Good on you guys. Good on you guys for continuing to learn and try to evolve and get better at your own skills. Good, good. That's very, very good. I'm very happy to see that. Okay. All right. Now, let's take a look at this. Okay, let's take a look at this now. Now, remember when I was telling you guys when it was prices were dropping? Okay, I'm going to teach you guys a new technique, okay? When prices were dropping, then it went like this, and then prices dropped more. I'm not going to give it numbers now, right? What did you guys tell me? Oh, I don't want it. Do you guys agree? You guys remember that moment? Even though the price was lower than what you wanted it, you guys said, I don't want it, right? Okay. I want you to keep that in mind very, very closely. I want you to just imagine what happened next. I drew this part next. You guys remember that part? Okay. Keep this very, very close to your heart. I'm about to teach you the next technique to make it a shortcut. Now, this part, when I asked you guys, and you guys were like, no, I wouldn't buy it either. No one said I wouldn't buy it. Okay. And then the prices further dropped, right? Now, this area, if I say this is a daily chart, if I say this is a daily chart, on the daily chart, does anybody want to buy it? Do you want to buy it? Does your friends in this chat room want to buy it? The answer was no. They don't want to buy it. But if I break this down to a 4-hour chart or a 60-minute chart, and I just draw this piece, that portion right there, it'll look like this. It looks like the buy is coming back, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like the buy is coming back when I zoom in another time frame? So now you tell me, if I zoom in another time frame and I hit the buy thinking it's going to buy, and that buy is right there, will it work? Will it work? Who has authority over the markets? A smaller time frame or a higher time frame? Who's got more money? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's the wrong perspective, right? It's the wrong perspective. You don't have the full picture. So it's crashing from a higher time frame, and we're trying to grab the little itty bitty turn. You're not going to get much movement out of that itty bitty turn. So you might get away with a profit that might be temporary, but if you slip up and you say, oh, now it's going to go up, you don't book that. You forget to book that. You miss out on booking that, and that thing turns, it's never coming back. It's never coming back. And what happens when it doesn't come back? You gotta you gotta manually close it at a much worse price if you're not using a stop loss, which you're supposed to do. These are common traits of every individual when they get into the market. Very common traits. So how do we fix this thing? I'm going to show you. So remember this shortcut I'm about to tell you. Whatever chart you're using, the higher time frame chart, if okay, how many of you guys in here are in the Mastering Price Action 2.0? Okay, I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to share this information outside here in the public because they desperately need to learn this thing. Okay. Now, eventually, what we do is I always teach all my education out on YouTube, anyways. It's just we make it for the premium members who pay for things. We make it available for them quickly as possible, and then in due time, I release it piece by piece on YouTube because I know some people can't afford even courses as well, and I get that. So information will always flow through me to all of you guys. It's just a matter of a speed. Some people want the information now. Yeah, you can head on over to urbanforex.com and say, gimme, gimme, gimme. And then it's right there. You can start right away to the point, small bite-sized videos. But, if money is an issue, go through my YouTube videos. It's all there. It's all there. Well, if it's not there, it will be there. Slowly but surely, it'll be there. Okay. All of you guys who are in this Mastering Price Action course, those of you guys who are saying the chat, you're saying me, okay, good. I request permission from you guys that I will begin to share this with the public here. This will help them if it hasn't already. What I want you guys to do is always monitor a level like this. If price has dropped and then it starts to pull back, like we talked about the rubber band, man. It starts to pull back. Mark the bottom, and you say that's the bottom, okay? Mark the bottom, and as you mark the bottom, watch as prices go below. Did price go below? Yeah, prices went below. I want you to find out who started that engine. It wasn't this guy, this guy, this guy. It was this guy who started that movement. So same thing here. Let's say we're going to do this. We're going to drop the price like that. So when we drop the price like that, was it him who dropped it? He couldn't have dropped it because he tried and it went back up. Was it him who dropped it? He couldn't have dropped it because it went back up. But it was him. And when I say dropped it, he must break the record. It needs to be a new record. Now, sometimes it does it in different fashion. Keep this in mind. Sometimes it'll do it this way. Ready? Take a look at this. It'll do it like this. So now, who dropped it? Is it that guy, A, or is it that guy, B? Good. Those of you guys who are thinking B, excellent. That's the right answer. So B is where you want to draw a little circle and saying, I got to watch that guy. I need to watch that guy. As you start to keep messing around with the guy who made the move, you know the turn is getting more and more active. Does that make sense? I'm going to show you. It's a little shortcut I teach everyone. So let's do this. Okay, ready? Let's do this. So if the prices are dropping, they drop dramatically. The prices drop. Sorry, too dramatic. If the prices are dropping, they pause and then they drop. And we say, hey, I want to buy this thing. Well, it started there. You're not going to feel like buying it. Nobody feels like buying it, right? But then it does this, and then it drops lower. And that's the guy who dropped it lower. And then it does this. Okay, that's the guy. And then it does this. So what we're looking for is those circles, whatever the latest circle is, how does that latest circle get destroyed? That increases the chances of the motion has slowed down and it's turning. Otherwise, it's very hard to get right up to that level. It's super difficult to get there. It's very hard to get to that level if the energy is not slowing down. Aha moments? Does that make sense? So whether you don't remember what I just told you at the early part of the webinar, this is your shortcut. You have to learn both. Obviously, you want to learn all your skills. You know, I can give you a microwave, doesn't make you a chef, okay? You still want to learn how to do it, right? But I want to give you both tools. I'm like, this is how you cook, and here's a microwave. Good luck, right? I want to give you both, but at the same time, I want to teach you how to do it so that way, in case the microwave is not working or acting up, you know how to do it manually. That's okay, right? That's the true learning, is doing it manually. So far, so good. And microwave is not cooking. For those of you guys who are thinking that's cooking, that's not cooking. You know, I don't want to endorse microwaves. Okay. Okay, good. Now that you guys understood this, let's bring it to the chart. Bring it to the chart. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Prices are dropping. Let's say you want to buy it at this price. Why do you want to buy it at that price? I don't know. Some guy on YouTube told me I should buy it at this price because this price is the shiz, right? It's like, it's so good. I want to buy at this price, right? So you want to buy there, but you don't know how to buy it there. And you're not going to just blindly buy it. After watching this webinar, you're not going to blindly do anything, okay? You're going to be smart about it and you're going to be like, let me see. Let me see. So what I'm going to show you is areas how you can buy it, how it's going to trip you up and try to confuse you, and you want to avoid that too. So I'm going to show you first how to do it. Then I'm going to show you on what areas you're going to get confused and you're going to try to trick you, and you'll have to avoid that. So I'll show you both. Let's start with the right way. Okay, here we go. So prices are dropping and you want to buy here for whatsoever reason. Let's say you saw a guy on YouTube and you like the guy and you're like, okay, I trust him or her. I've been listening to that guy speak for years. Fine. And he says you need to buy it at this price. And this is like a nice price. And you're like, fine, I'll buy it there. But I don't like when things go lower. I mean, it doesn't feel good, right? I want to avoid the drawdown. I don't like that. Okay. So how do we do that? Prices are coming. Think about it like the house. And then it rests. And then it starts to go down. I'm going to draw my bottom. And then it goes down. Killed. I'm going to draw a circle there. Gotcha. I know who did it. I know who caused that. Because it takes a lot of money to break a low. Not break a leg, break a low. It takes a lot of money. Actually, it actually takes a lot of money to break a leg too, but it takes a lot of money to break a low in the market. Okay, then it rests. Boing, nothing yet. And low. Again, it broke the new record. Who did that? This guy did. Put a circle right there. Put a circle right there. No one is interested in buying it. Look at the speed of this. Look at the speed of that. Look at the speed of this. They look identical. That rubber band man is not slowing down one bit. I can't buy. So how do I catch this reversal? My mentor or that dude or that dudess that I saw on YouTube told me to buy. I can't buy it yet. And it does this, and it does this, and it does that. Nothing. Should I buy it? Should I buy it? Should I? Boing. New guy. All right. So looks like I can't buy it yet. Then it goes up, bounces up, right neck and neck, comes back down, bounces up, right neck and neck, bounces down, comes up, swipes right through it. How do you feel about it now? Seeing the action of how it tries to ram that circle the last circle that we drew. It's like they're not going down anymore and it's going straight up to it. Almost like it's 100% going back to the circle and saying, no, no more selling, and goes right back to the circle. No more selling, goes right back. And this time it goes through. This constant ramming of this wall that the circle has held is constantly telling you it's starting to slow down, it's starting to die. The seller's engine is starting to die. What that means is from the right side of this line that I just drew, it becomes a bit easier. It's not always the best answer, what I'm trying to tell you, but it becomes a bit easier. Now, what's going to happen is the dude or dudess who told you to buy at this line, they're going to look shiny and say, I told you. I told you to buy it from there. Look how price went up. But they will never talk about this part down here, which you and I suffered through. It was like, it didn't go from that price. I mean, I appreciate it went up. Thank you for that. But I didn't survive this. I lost. I didn't make money. I lost money. In fact, I bought so big it wiped out my account. So I'm happy you made money, Mr. Speaker on the YouTube. I didn't make any money. So I'm equipping you to be much smarter on saying, take the analysis, that's fine, but you can protect yourself on saying, how can I read this thing properly? Good? Thumbs up, like, subscribe. Whoa, I'm like shining on this thing. Okay. Yeah, thumbs up if you've got a aha moment today in these two little tricks that I showed you so far. Okay, we're not done yet. We're not done yet, but just asking for some thumbs up but at this point because it's YouTube. That's what we do here, right? We just ask for thumbs up. That's what we live on. We live on thumbs up. Okay. Now, let's now move in a little bit deeper, shall we? So we talked about how do we do on a more simplistic way of how do we catch the turn, which is fine. Now, how do we make sure we don't get trapped in doing this the wrong way? You guys ready to hear that? Shall we talk about the complexities? All right, here we go. So this area that you had your information from, which was this spot here, right? Something like that. Yeah, that was a spot we said more or less the 1,000 price. Okay. So you got your little signal service that says you have to buy at this price. Now, whatever time frame this is, let's call it your higher time frame. Okay? Your higher time frame, when it got to that price, did you want it? And watch the chat. Did you want to buy it when it got to that price? Okay? No. Good. You didn't want it when it got to that price. Now, I'm going to show you something that's going to catch you off guard here. Here we go. I'm going to make the candle right there. I'm going to go back in time a little bit, and I'm going to bring you right to that moment. Nobody in this chat wants to buy. I'm going to just do one thing. I'm going to bring it down a couple of time frames. Here we are on the 4-hour time frame. Now on the weekly, remember our circle is up here on the weekly. That's where it was. I just changed time frames. Now on this time frame, everybody is looking at this and saying, look at the buyer. Look at this last little bitty circle here that we destroyed. Buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. Why isn't the buy going? Buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. It doesn't make any sense. It looks like it's leaving without you, right? Look at the way it's going up. It actually looks like the guy who destroyed this last low, the circle is here, and we went up. We got close here and we came back down. Then we got close here and we rammed through it. We're like, wow, it's a buyer. He's back. So wherever you buy from, you start feeling like it should be okay for a buy now. I got my 1,000 price. I'm a little bit late to the party. That's okay. But at least I'm in. I'm following the technique the brown guy on YouTube told me, right? But this can catch you off guard when clearly all of you guys said that were sitting on the weekly said, I don't want it. So then if a 4-hour guy buys it, how is his performance going to be? Good. Cicera Francis saying, but the big boys are still selling. Good. Good. So what's going to happen is this area is going to cause a lot of pain. It can be pain emotionally, financially. I guess that's it, right? Emotionally, financially, maybe physically. I don't know, but depending on how you guys, probably take the keyboard and smash your head or something. I don't know, but it's going to cause some kind of a pain, right? So you want to avoid that pain unnecessarily and just say, I don't want to do that because I looked at a time frame above how they're coming to this area and how they get to that area they're not interested in. So why can a lower time frame suddenly wake up and take over? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That's how you protect yourself. Yeah? Aha moment there too? Okay, good. Good, good, good. I want you to internalize these things, all right? Okay, I'm going to show you a few more techniques. Now, I want you to internalize these things. So far, what did we talk about? We talked about two things, all right? We talked about the rubber band man, that little technique. If you can't remember the nice, wonderful rubber band man that I created back in the day, if you don't like that character, fine. Because, the times have changed. It could be rubber band man, woman, rubber band man, they, rubber band them. I don't even know I can't even call it a gender anymore. Rubber band person, I guess. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. But anyways, you get the idea. So it's rubber band something. If you don't like that, just think of physics. Think of that ball. When you drop the ball, it slows down, it bounces, it bounces, it bounces, and it runs out of steam. When it runs out of steam, the turn is easier to do. What the turn is easier to do, given that the buyers still want it. Okay, that's one part. The other part is putting those little circles, as I told you. Put the circles, put the circles, put the circles. Monitor who makes the new record of making a new low or a new high. If you're in an uptrend, you want to track the highs. Who breaks that record? Who keeps breaking that record? Put a circle and say, who did that? Okay. On the Mastering Price Action 2.0, we all refer to that as the guy who started it. Okay. A lot of you guys here who are in the courses, in the comments, you guys coined it GWS, guy who started it. So I don't know where it came from. I didn't make that up, but it was like a lot of you guys in the comments saying, if I look at the GWS, and it was very fun to read those comments but everyone's going with it now. Everyone's using that little abbreviation. So that's really cool to see. Okay, now let's get back to the charts here. Now, let me bring it back to the charts here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So, few things. You got those two little techniques. A little quiz for you guys. If a higher time frame says no, but a lower time frame says yes, will it work? Good. No, it won't work. Good. Good. Chances are low. Chances are close to zero. Okay, they're close to zero. Don't put yourself in a position where you have to fight them. Like just because you want to buy because it looks good from a lower time frame, it's hard. It's hard to fight this engine coming at you. So don't even put yourself in that position. You see what I mean? So if you know you have to cross the road when there's no cars. You can't say, I'm going to cross the road during rush hour. Watch me, hold my beer. Like, don't do that. You're just asking for it, right? Okay. All right. So don't put yourself in harm's way unnecessarily when actually it can be super easy that you can trade it in a more simplistic and more appropriate way. Okay. Now, how many guys in here are students of the Mastering Price Action 2.0 already? I think I asked this question, but I didn't see the responses. But I did see some of you guys in here. I do remember seeing some of you guys saying yes, go ahead and share the ideas. That's fine. Okay. Now I didn't share everything. But I did share, two really good techniques that you guys can use for those of you guys who are not in the courses. Okay. Okay. All right. Now let's take a look at a different one. Shall we look at let's look at some stocks here, okay? Let's look at some stocks here. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. This is a weekly chart. Let me turn this out. Okay, here we go. So now this is a stock of a very large company here in UAE, Dubai. These guys are very, very big builders. And, those of you guys who have learned how to do stocks with me, you guys know like this is a gold mine of a trade. So let's now talk about how do we use this turnaround technique here? Okay. In this whole thing, the technique I taught you, it can be used in a reversal method as well. In sorry, not a reversal method, in a trending method as well. Because what is a reversal? A reversal is something is coming at you and you want to turn it around, right? The technique I just showed you, what about you use it in a pullback? So what that means is, what if you're already in an uptrend and then temporarily the price pulls back and starts giving you a discount? Can you now time the discount so you can get back with the trend? The same concept applies. Same concept applies. That's the guy. Da, 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 da. That's the guy. Da, 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 da. Get him. Get him. And you feel a little bit more comfortable to buy there. Right? Well, when I first got involved in this stock was in 2023 of June, similar fashion. As prices started to turn and hold, well, that's the guy there. He broke that low, came in. I'm watching him. Price got to here and then pushed it all the way back down. Then price came up again, very close, pushed it down less. Then price got to there, then pushed it down less. Then price, boing, it's go time. Go time. Then it did it again in late 2023, closer to 2024. That's the guy who started it. Made new lows, prices get up to here, and that's the response. Nothing. Then it goes up. Nothing, 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 nothing. Goes down again. Okay, goes up. Nothing. Boing. Okay, we're getting better. We're getting better. From this moment onwards, you've now saved yourself half a year's worth of time saying if you bought it, there would have been a lot of pain. There would have been a lot of pain. Does that make sense? So you don't always have to reverse a market that's going in a certain way. You can also use it for a market going in the same direction. You can use it when a discount comes in. You can capture the discount using the same method. So it's good to learn how to do a reversal technique because it can be applied to a trending market as well. Does that make sense? Okay. So as you learn to put these techniques together, now one of the things, I'll explain to you guys why I actually even became a teacher because, it's going to sound weird what I'm going to say. I hated teachers. I hated teachers. I don't know why. I really thought that they were put on this planet to torture me. And that's what I thought teachers were. And over time, I reached college. And in college, I was sitting in a math class, and the teacher was teaching basic algebra in math. And it was very intro math in college. And there was a girl sitting next to me. She wasn't understanding anything. And teachers just blabbing and blabbing and blabbing and saying, okay, you take this denominator, you divide it by 2, and you solve for X and solve for Y. He's in his own world. He's trying to show you how intelligent he is. Okay. Well, the girl sitting next to me, she's completely lost. I already know what's going on. Maybe I'm Indian, so I already knew what's happening with math. I got it. But the girl next to me, she was suffering. She really was trying hard and she wasn't getting it. She was showing up every time. She was on time. She was diligently there, but she's just like, I'm having trouble with this. And then I looked at her, like she's got her nice bags with Louis Vuitton and everything like that. I'm like, okay, let's switch it up a little bit. And then I changed it and saying, let's say you need to do it with let's forget X. Let's say money. And I changed the scenarios around a little bit. And she's like, that makes sense. Fast forward 2 weeks down the line, exams happened. She passed the exam with flying colors, right? She did really, really well, and she was super happy about that. It is at that moment when I was like, ah, crap. I ended up becoming a teacher now. Like, way to go, karma. The full circle right back at me and kicking my butt now. So I guess it's my calling or whatever you want to call it. I went into the banking industry. From the banking industry, now I'm, buying out hospitals and clinics. That's what I do outside. But trading is where I make my money. That's my main profession. And I do see many, many, many people struggling with this thing. And for me to look at it from an outside perspective, it's like it's actually really easy, but I think everyone's getting dragged in with a strategy, with a technique and timing, and that is causing a lot of pain, and it's causing a lot of delay in figuring it out. Okay. I went through that myself when I first got into it until, my mentors had to smack me on the back of my head over and over again saying, "Are you stupid? What are you doing? Are you stupid? You don't do this in real life. What are you doing on the chart?" I didn't even know what that meant. You know, Fast forward down the line, I had to teach other bankers, I had to teach royal families, I had to teach all kinds of people. And as I was training and training and training different types of high net worth individuals around the world from different banks and institutions, that's when I first made the MPA, Mastering Price Action 1.0. And from 1.0, it took off. The internet took off with Storm 1.0. Was the most sold course everywhere online. We've been around since 2009. How many guys in this room remember Mastering Price Action 1.0? Like that was like the gold mine of gold mines. People were like, "This is it. This is it. This is what I've been looking for." And then fast forward from there, we had to update it a little bit, and I introduced Mastering Price Action 2.0, which is the current intro version into trading the right way. It's like, let's get you in first. Excuse me. Let's get you in the door. So imagine like the whole story of a professional person coming in and saying, "Naveen, teach me," to now I take that same knowledge, which was super expensive back in the day. I've lowered the price a lot since then to make it more accessible to the public. And as the public started looking at it, it's like, I also understand this. It's not just for the big boys. I get this too. So when they started using it, I was like, okay, maybe I can simplify it even more. And that's when I made Mastering Price Action 2.0. And I even made it easier. I cut out a lot of the extra language and a lot of barriers, a lot of vocabulary, and then made it even simpler and simpler and simpler. So that way we can get straight to the point, just like how we're doing here, right? If everything that I've taught you in this room today has made sense to you and you haven't started your career with Urban Forex with me, then I highly recommend you go on to urbanforex.com and pick up the Mastering Price Action 2.0 and begin your journey from that course onwards, because that is the stepping stone of making sure you look at it with the right lens, you start approaching it with the right techniques, and then with these techniques, when I reintroduce that same technique back to you in a more original format, you're going to be like, "I see why you taught me that way. That was a shortcut, wasn't it? But now I get why we're learning it in this way. I got it. It makes sense now." So as you grow older as a trader, you will always look back at the Mastering Price Action 2.0 and saying, "Wow, that thing is still powerful. I just didn't look at it in that lens." But every time I look back at it, you'll look back and realize that the program is evergreen. It will last forever. It'll last forever. It's something you can pass on to even to your kids. So I really hope you guys take use of it. It is available online right now. We will, as supply and demand goes, we will obviously increase the prices every year, every year, every year. Inflation, the price of dollars going down. That's not on me, okay? That's not on me. That's the Feds. They're printing money, okay? That's not me. That's inflation, okay? But I'm doing my best. For those of you guys who cannot afford it, obviously, don't worry. Slowly but surely, it will be released with a little bit of delay. It will be released. Similar type of information with different things. Okay. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the webinar. I had a lot of fun. I love being here with you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, speak soon. Cheers. Bye for now.